morning, guys. I woke up excited because last night was excitement. And if you guys don't know, last night I did my first stage performance. And I was going to go see OC to perform his spoken word. And then God wound up walking me into a blessing to perform mine. And so I'm like, wow. So you have to know that God will always place us in the position of our purpose. And you don't have to try hard to get it. And I just literally walked into it. But what I'm coming to you guys today with is that me and my husband, we were both excited, and we just we're at Subway, and so we after the spoken word, before we go to Subway, guys, my bad. I was just in full excitement. So I'm like ministering God's words to young men. That the one, I don't know if you guys seen on my Facebook, he was one that was doing like the rapping or whatever, the Christian rap. And so I was just discussing with him. We just all, sharing God's word and everything. And then so my husband, of course, hungry. We was like, okay, let's go Subway. So God just blessed us. We excited. You know what I'm saying? We ready to freaking take over the world right now. And so we go to Subway. And then what happens is, so we get there, and so we order our food, and then the guy was like, no, so for some reason, it was something about this man, it was a sweet spirit on him, I can feel it, and it was also a sad spirit on him. It's like, I felt sad for him, and it was like, I know he didn't want this lifestyle that he had, which was he working at Subway, and he was talking, he's making minimum wage of $7.25, and my heart just fell for him, because I knew I knew that God had more for him, but sometimes we can get so comfortable in just, not pushing ourselves, and then we find ourselves being, in stagnation, and that means no movement. You see what I'm saying? So anyways, we're at Subway, we order our food, and then me and Lamar talking to the men, because me and Lamar, we can be very friendly at times, but in God, you need to be friendly, because you never know who's hurting. That's how I look at it. And so anyways, so we're at Subway, guys, and then what happens is that we order our food, and then the man was like, you know what, y'all seem like good people and everything, so you know what, I'll just give y'all everything free. We was like, okay. He's like, yeah, everything free. All I want y'all to do is just to just throw me some change. I'm like, so then the moment of all me and Lamar heard, baby, right?
Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I failed the test, because when he said, the only thing I heard free, and so I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And so my ears were actually clogged up to when he said that he was gonna pocket the money because he needed the money. So I wasn't hearing that, I was just hearing that I was gonna get a free meal, and I'm already hungry, I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. And so Desiree caught me, she was all like, baby, no, you know what I'm saying, like, we finna go ahead and pay for this meal, and you can just have the change, which was like, I think $8. And then he kind of had a look like...
Yeah, because what it was, that's true, because what it was, guys, was that I was trying to get it to where, see, we just walked out of a blessing. And so it was like a setup. So God set me up to walk into a blessing, and the enemy was trying to set me up to walk out of receiving a blessing. So it sounded good, because it was like, okay, this guy is offering us free money, offering us free food. And so I'm like, why not? I mean, maybe this is a blessing from God. So that's why I said, God, you have to be careful that the enemy will bless you too, because you see, it sounded like he was being a nice man, right? And then the man was talking about God and everything. Once again, he gravitated me in, because he brought up God. And then so what happened was that the minute that he told us that he'll give us the free food, it's like our attention went straight to free. And then I said, hold on. I had to step back, and I was like, nah, that's not right. So you know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna still pay for my meal, I'm gonna pay for my sandwich, my chips, my drink, whatever. I'm gonna still pay for everything. And what I would do is I would be a blessing to you and give you the money anyways. And so he's looking at me like, why in the world would you turn down free food when I just offered you to be able to keep your money in your pocket? All you had to do is throw me some change. Because it wasn't about keeping the change, whatever. It was about pretty much God saying, I'm trying to take you to another place. And you can be this easy to fall into the trap of the enemy, because you're thinking it's a blessing when it was never a blessing. It was a setup for you to fall into a trap. And so I had to reevaluate. And I said, you know what? I said he had a dishonest spirit on him. He had a dishonest spirit on him. And so by him having a dishonest spirit on him, it's like I had to allow the light of God in me to show forward, because God is saying, I need you to be, pretty much pronounce my word, give my word, not just at church, not just on these videos, but I'm gonna also push you and test you in public places. Because even though that was such an easy blessing, that was such an easy thing to walk into, right, baby? Right, it was easy to walk into. I mean, who's been turned down a free meal and you have to keep your money? But it's like at the end of the day, you have to have morals. And you have to know who you are. You have to know God's word. And you know that if you take this food, that is a setup that you could have missed your blessing. Because God tests us in our blessings. So the enemy could have had you to miss your blessing just that fast because you were so quick to hear free. And you like, okay, well, I mean, I'm not having to come out any money. And it's like you're looking at what you're saving, but look at what you're actually losing.
Yeah, so we could also put him in like a bad situation.
Yeah, he lost his job.
Losing his job just by trying to like do, you know what I'm saying, do that for us because he's in need of like the extra little money and trying to pocket the money. And then like us not basically, you know what I'm saying, like us going with it, you know, like, oh, okay, yeah, like, you know, it's like he could have been like a bad situation.
Yeah, and he could have lost his job.
He got caught on camera. I mean,
exactly. He could, exactly. So it's like, you guys have to be very careful on that. When something seems too good to be true, don't fall for it. Because it's like, God, that's what I'm saying. You have to understand, God blessed me that night to walk into that blessing and be able to perform my poem, right? I didn't ask for that. I just walked into, so that was a setup for God placing me to walk into something. Now the next setup, okay, guys, okay. So now the enemy is trying to set me up. And so that's why God said you have to be on your tippy toes because you don't know when I'm gonna come, you don't know when the enemy's gonna come. You gotta be ready. And so you gotta be ready to know, to be like, you know, to stand strong, because the minute that we pretty much, you know, we're about to fall into the trap, I had to instantly catch myself. I said, Desiree, no, this is not you, sweetheart. Because even though he's giving you something free, you're losing your morals. You have morals, sweetheart. And it's your morals and who you are in God is not worth a freaking sandwich and some chips and a drink. It's not worth it. So at the end of the day, like, this video is pretty much stating, guys, that you have to not be so easily tempted to fall into the pit of temptation. Because that's what it was. It was dressed up pretty. That's why I said the enemy will send you blessing as well. It was dressed up pretty. He even talked about God. The enemy know God's word as well. So he's a form of God, but he was not living in the spirit of God. Because if he was living in the spirit of God, he would have a conscience in his mind, in his spirit, to know that it would convict him to be like, you know what, this is wrong. But this man did not get convicted, and when he did not feel bad about this at all. And that's scary, because it's amazing how we can be so caught up in our sin, and we don't even see it as being bad because we've been doing it for so long. Or have you guys ever been doing something for so long that it does not even seem wrong? It don't seem wrong. It just seems like the typical, like, okay, this is nothing. You see what I'm saying? But you have to be very careful, because what can seem so normal can be like, you know, a setup for you for not moving forward and allowing God to push you past the things that he has for you, because you're so used to your normal. God says, I want to take you to the unnormal, the unfamiliar places. You see what I'm saying? But that was a setup in disguise. And
yeah, so after last night, I think he probably, like, he'll start reconsidering on, like,
being dishonest.
Exactly, yeah, being dishonest. After seeing how we turned that down,
yeah,
and like we didn't accept it, you know.
Because he was looking like, that's true. Because he was looking like,
yeah, I mean, like,
why would they turn down this? Yeah, his face was like, so she's gonna still give me money and pay for her food? Yeah, because I need my blessing. I need every blessing that God has for me, whether it's internal or external. I need every blessing. I'm not gonna miss my blessing because of a slip up, because of you trying to offer me something, you know, that you think that I need. But how can you give me something that you think I need when God says I have already given you everything that you need? God says he's giving me everything that I need. So people cannot give me what God has already given me. You see what I'm saying? You cannot bless me with what God has already blessed me with. So by me being a blessing, see, when it wasn't just me giving him the $8. No, what was it? It was like $6. It wasn't about me giving him like the $6 or so, guys. It was about God allowing him to see that, you know, how there are honest people in this world, and there are people who live by morals. And by him seeing that, I prayed for him before I left too as well. I prayed that God touch his heart to not allow him to walk in the flesh of dishonesty, and allow him to begin walking in the flesh, and let him begin walking in the spirit of truth. God wants us to come to him in spirit and in truth. And so that man, maybe he may not have ever, you know, seen somebody, you know, because sometimes I feel that people can be, you know, like, let's say the environment they're in. This man probably used to doing that with other people. People come to his Subway shop every night, and he's probably doing the same thing to them. But this one night, it didn't happen. Because God is not going to keep allowing you to do something and think you're going to keep getting away with it. No. So God had us, being the women of God I am, and the men of God that my husband is, to speak to that spirit, that dishonest and that lying spirit. And it had to also expose us of an area as well, because you have to understand, when God is placing you, when there is a setup, even if it is the enemy, sometimes you have to thank your enemy for exposing you of yourself, because the enemy exposes us of our weakness in a tempted place. And so by us being exposed of our weakness in a tempted place, it allow us to walk. It allow us to be able to expose, to be able to minister to where he was at. Because we can't minister where he was at if we weren't first revealed to ourselves. You see what I'm saying? So we were all walking in dishonesty for a second. And then I was like, oh no. So in the midst of that conversation, like I was stating, you have to be very careful, because the enemy will send blessings just as well as God will send blessings. But you have to know the difference. You see, God's blessing is going to bear good fruit. This blessing was going to bear bad fruit. And what I mean by bad fruit is that he was going to go to jail. I was going to have to go to God and ask God for forgiveness, because that's basically stealing. You know what I'm saying? Anything could have happened. This man could have missed walking into his change and his season of change by me not being aware of, God calling me to be a blessing to him by speaking a word of encouragement and wisdom to him, and letting him know that this is not the way of doing things. I even prayed for that young man. I said, I grabbed his hand and I said, I pray that the Spirit of the Lord flourish you into the man of God that he called you to be. Not the man of God that the flesh called you to be, but the man of God that he called you to be. Because even though I know that he said, I'm hurting. He's like, I don't have any money. You know what I'm saying? I have 3 kids. I understand that. But if you're trusting God like you're trusting him, sometimes God may have you to go a little bit. He may have to go a little bit longer without, because it's like God he want to see just how much he is in your life. And I notice that there's things that I've been waiting for God to send my way, and I still have yet to receive it. But in the midst of me waiting, I have learned to gain patience. And guys, and sometimes God will hold things back in our life, because it's not to say, okay, I'm not going to bless you. It's to say you're not ready right now. To whom much is given, much is required. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be things that you're going to be wanting right now, and God's going to say, no, you have to wait. And sometimes that waiting can be like painful. But it's like, I'd rather wait and receive what's for me than rush and receive what's not for me. Because if I rush and receive what's not for me, I'm only going to regret it later. See, but when I wait to receive what's for me, it's going to be lavished in my life. I'm going to, just be laying in. I'm just going to be like that. It's going to be a comfortable, happy place. But when I rush into something that I know I did wrong, but for me to receive it, I may have lied, I may have cheated, I may have, threw somebody under the bus just to have it. I may be living this dishonest life, and it's like, why do all that just to have something, and then you can't even go to bed because you still got this on your conscience? It's like, I want to go to sleep with peace on my mind. I don't want to go sleep with, okay, who finna steal this from me, or, who I need to go rob, or, it's like, that's why you have to be careful, guys. All that stuff that you do that's not of God, all the stuff that seems to be, it's a shortcut to have. Just like I said, last night was a shortcut for us to receive free things. But every shortcut leads to a test. Every shortcut leads to damage. You may think, okay, well, I'm used to stealing. I'm used to doing this. I'm used to doing that. Okay, you're used to doing it now, but guess what? It's going to take that one time, and you're going to slip up. And God going to allow it to happen. He gonna allow it to happen, because he's not finna keep allowing you to keep doing stuff and thinking that it's okay. So God is a God of order. You can't think you finna be in God and still do what you do. That's not gonna happen. So you have to understand, when the minute you get in God, God is going to he's going to shut some things down. He's going to shut some doors you can't enter into no more. So in the midst of me saying this, guys, like I said, when me and Lamar was being tested by somebody offering us something free, and then we almost this close lost our morals because we heard free, and we thinking that maybe God is sending this blessing our way. No, that was the enemy. That was a blessing straight up from the enemy. And I seen the minute right after I even had the thought to consider, my spirit convicted me. I knew it was a setup, because I knew, why would I allow God has brought me a mighty long way. And I am at a place right now, so you can't swing me left, you can't swing me right. Because I'm at a place to right now, so I'm asking God, I want to go spiritually deeper. So in going spiritually deeper, there are going to be some things that God's going to reveal about me. In the midst of God revealing them things about me, it's not to discourage me, or it's not to embarrass me. It's to elevate me. So you can't expect to get in God, guys, and not expect God to expose you of yourself. God is going to always expose you of yourself, but you have to be open and ready to receive that exposure. Am I ready to see the real me that I have been allowing the flesh to cover up for so long? Because when God comes in, he's gonna begin allowing his spirit to remove it's like the spirit's gonna begin peeling everything off of you. It's like peeling a orange, peeling. Because God wants you naked. He wants you to be naked. He don't want anything that's gonna be attaching itself to you, that's gonna be taken from what he's trying to do in your life. So I'm gonna peel every fleshly desire, everything that you're doing in your life that is against my word. I'm gonna begin peeling it away from you. But the question is, are you ready for God to begin peeling away things in your life? Or are you so consumed and familiarized to it to where you're like, if I let this go, I mean, it's going to reveal the real me. Or if I let this go, I'm going to lose this. You're not ready to walk in God then, because you're not trusting God. Like I told you guys, when you're able to sacrifice some things in your life, you know what? If I have to give this up just to go to a different place, I'm going to do what I have to do. You have to know, guys, that God, what he does is that when God blesses us, you see, it's not going to come in the way that we want it to come. It can be in a place to where it's very uncomfortable. And I've been placed in many uncomfortable places. And I'm like, God, you know what? I'm finna just leave. This is not for me. But God said, who told you that that when I bless you, it was gonna be in a place of your comfort? Who told you that I was gonna be placing you in a comfortable place before you? Like, no, I'm gonna place you in uncomfortable situations. I'm gonna place you in places to where you're gonna be placed around temptation, because you claim my name, but I want to see, are you really walking in me? You see what I'm saying? And so when God blesses you, he doesn't want anybody taking any credit for it. He don't want somebody saying, oh yeah, so-and-so, you got this because of me. No, God said, when I bless you, sweetheart, can't nobody even say you got this because of me. No. God said, I'm going to walk you into it. Just like last night, can't nobody give me something that God has already given me, because just like I said, me and Othmar was going to go watch Osita. We just walked into it. Guys. I didn't know I was going to go on stage and perform. I just walked into a blessing, because when you're walking in purpose, God will always place you in position. Know that. If y'all don't catch anything from this video, just know whenever you're walking in purpose, God will always place you in the positions. You don't have to lie your way up. You don't have to steal your way up. You don't have to rob your way up. You don't have to be deceitful. You don't have to do any of these things that's against you just to go to the top. Because God says, when I place you, it's not going to be because of what you have. It's going to be because of what I've given you. So you can be a person that has zero, but God said you have so much purpose in you, so your purpose overtakes what you have. So if you have something in this hand that's zero, but this hand carries purpose, God said, I will use this hand that carries purpose to override this hand that has nothing. So like I said, purpose will always place you in position, always place you in blessings. And like I told y'all, those who just joined this thing, me and Lamar was at Subway, and this guy, we had just got done, we were walking out of a blessing. And instead of the enemy was trying to walk us into a setup, and so this man offered us free everything in Subway, and he was like, if y'all just give me this money, you know, you'll be okay, and it'll be between us. But the thing about it, me and Lamar, we was this close to just considering it, and then my spirit instantly convicted me, and I said, oh no. I said, you know what I would do is, because I'm thinking, you know, maybe God blessing me, but it wasn't that. I said, no, you know what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to pay for my meal. And God is still, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna still be a blessing to you and give you money. This man was looking at us like they are crazy. What was he, baby? He was looking at us like they are crazy. But you know what? And I left something on him. He was like, wow, because this man had a dishonest spirit on him. And for him, that's why God said he wants us as his children to be the light in the darkness. Because if I was pretty much to go into the darkness he was in, how would he have received his healing? You see what I'm saying? He has to receive his healing, and God is going to call us in places that we don't even know he's calling us to. But God is saying, I'm calling you here to bring this person to a place from a place. You see what I'm saying? And so if me and my husband would have given into the darkness of the lies, he would have missed the light of his truth that God was calling him to. So when he seen us walking in truth, and it had him to probably, and I prayed for this young man before I left, I pray that God give him an honest spirit, because I don't want this man to lose his job. He has children he has to take care of, and it's not worth $6, you know, because you're trying to think you're helping us when you're really hurting yourself. So guys, don't sit back. Have you ever sat back and watched somebody do something wrong and you know it was wrong? That's not right, guys. We have to step up. We can't sit back and watch somebody do something wrong that we know is wrong. We don't, by us. Okay, well, I didn't do it. Okay, but you sit back and watch it happen. So by me sitting back watching this man steal out of this register, who am I? I am just as guilty as he is. That's wrong. That is wrong. And I had to be convicted of that. So that's why I had to instantly say, you know what, young man, I will give you this money. If you're hurting that bad, I will give you this money because I don't want you to miss your blessings. And I don't want you to lose your job. It's not that serious. So don't sit back, guys, when you see somebody doing something wrong because you're thinking that, oh, well, I don't want to say nothing. Everything counts. Because God is still looking at you, even though you're not the one that may be stealing, but you're watching this person that is stealing. You go be a spoken word. You go be a word of encouragement. You go be true to that person. Let them know so-and-so, this is wrong. You're going to miss your blessings. Just wait on the Lord. If you need help, let me see what I can give you. Don't sit back and watch them do wrong, guys. God wants us to be children of light, not children of darkness. Because if we're children of darkness, we're giving in to exactly what they're doing. We have to be the change for the world. We cannot be conformed to the things of the world, but be changed for the world. So when people see that we're not walking in the things that they're walking in, they're going to be like, okay, you know what? So-and-so, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to steal no more. Because it's like the spirit that's on, the thing about God is that the spirit that's on you, God will have it to be transpired. God will have it to pretty much touch the person that's next to you. Like, let's say I'm doing something and it's right and Lamar know what he's doing is wrong. I don't have to even say that. Sometimes I don't have to even say it because my spirit alone will have him to reconsider some things. You know what? No, I'm not even going to do that. So that's why God wants us to walk in him, guys, because when we walking in him, we can allow people to begin walking into who they really are in him. Because if we're walking in us, then how are they going to be able to walk into what God called them to be? Because we're doing exactly what they're doing. God says be the change of the world, not be conformed to the world, guys. So like I said, when me and Lamar denied that man that money, you see what I'm saying? We don't know what doors we opened for this man to walk into. We could have opened some doors and internal battles he was going through. God could have released and healed him and gave him a better job and better pay. We could have this man was, I don't tell him what blessing he walked into by us deny him the money and allow him not to have to go and steal. You see what I'm saying? We saved a soul, guys. That's what God is saying. Go save a soul. We saved a soul last night, and I am blessed, and I am excited, and I am proud to say I'm proud of me and my husband. We saved a soul, guys. You see what I'm saying? We saved a soul, and this man, now I don't tell him what open doors God has for him. All because we were obedient. And we allow the Spirit to instantly convict us. If you're doing something that's wrong and it's not convicting you and you know it's wrong, you live in a lie. Your life, you're living a lie. And I'm not finna sit here and I'm not finna sugarcoat it. I'm gonna let you know what it is. You're living a lie. If you're doing something you know it's wrong, you know it's against God's word, you're living a lie. Because I can't say I'm walking in God and I'm sitting here watching this man steal. I can't. I have to be bold enough. God, give me the boldness to pray for this man. Address this man. Like, you know what, say, man, you know what, man, here you go. Here goes some change. Be a blessing to somebody. Stop always having your hand out open to receive and allow God to say, you know what? Allow you to be a blessing to somebody and start giving. You see what I'm saying? Quit always having your hands out open to receiving and allow you to be a blessing and giving. I was excited to be a blessing to this young man. You see what I'm saying? I was excited to give to this man and allow him to be able to walk into the man of God that he called him to be. You see what I'm saying? This man could have instantly missed his blessing, and we could have missed our elevation and our blessing, because that's all it's about. I'm telling God I want to go spiritual deeper. That's right. But how you want to go spiritual deeper when you almost were pretty much going to agree with allowing this man to give you free food and give him money on the counter? No. So that's what I'm saying. Don't allow the temptation of what it looks like to grab you. You need to know this is wrong. I'm not even gonna do that. Because I know who I am in God, and I know that there's people tied to me, there's purpose tied to me, and there's deliverance tied to me, and people need to receive their healing and their deliverance. They can't receive it if I'm walking in darkness, if I'm walking in the same thing they're walking in. You got to be the opposite of it. That's what I'm saying. So on that note, guys, like I said, it's a setup. You have to know it. You have to know it. You have to know it, because if you're not tuned into it, you will miss it. You will fall into the trap. Me and Lamar walked into a blessing, and then the enemy tried to have us walk into a trap. But then guess what? We wound up ending up walking out into another blessing, because this man, now his soul is saved. You see what I'm saying? So on that note, guys, we love y'all. Peace. And like I said, don't fall for it, because it's a setup. And always go towards the things that God has you to go towards. Don't go towards the things that seem shortcut, easy to do. This is easy to have. No, go to it. Even though if the God way may seem a little bit long, take it, because God got more things that he has for you, okay? All right, guys. Peace. Love you. And keep God first. All right. See you.